Hello and welcome to Cairo, Egypt. On a recent missionary trip to Ghana, West Africa, a team member and I got delayed and therefore diverted to Cairo. It's sort of a strange feeling to see the signs in Arabic and all, but it was certainly a very broadening experience for us. So this is a hospital in an area north of Cairo. Because it was the month of Ramadan, we had a limited amount of time to take in as many of the tour sites as we could. This first stop is King Tut's Museum. It was actually a French archaeologist that constructed this. It seems that they had more fascination with ancient history than did the Egyptians at that time. But these are a couple of the frontal shots, and understand because it is the month of Ramadan, everything shuts down by 2 o'clock. So we were on a whirlwind tour, information overload. But look at the detail on the door entryway. Everything is just exquisitely done. Inside you have this panoramic view, beautiful dome type structure. And of course the historical value. Here's an image of the Rosetta Stone, not the real one, that's in Britain, but there's just so much to take in. We could only cover so much in the half hour we had allotted. But you're looking at some very ancient history here, some of the papyrus plants turned into paper. This is a series of storage. You're looking at gold leaf here, by the way, for King Tut's tomb. All of this exhumed in 1922 under an archaeologist by the name of Carter. Fascinating story that you may or may not be aware of already. At any rate, these are some of the pictures as they were taking apart the different aspects of this tomb. And everything, all kinds of symbolism. This is fascinating. Those of you that are into essential oils, made out of alabaster. This actually, all of those tubes were carved. How they made that happen, beautiful incense. How about walking a few steps in the sandals of someone several thousand years old? This is not King Tut's image here, but one of the other mummies that's on display, and the kind of case that it would be encased in. And then when they open that up, this is what they would find inside. Really amazingly preserved when you consider how much time has elapsed. This would be one of the chariots. You read of this in the Old Testament, and these are the precise types that the Israelites would have dealt with. Now we come to one of the treasure troves of the museum, and that is the mask that was designed and used for King Tut's burial. 325 troy ounces, I believe is what that adds up to. It's 22 pounds of pure gold. So you talk about a valuable piece of merchandise. And when they pulled it off, there was some tar that they used, and so it was sticky. And when they pulled it off, some of the skin came with it. So up inside that mask is actually a little bit of King Tut's skin. One last stop before we leave the museum here. This is a description of a painted image of Hatshepsut. She is ostensibly the one that pulled little Moses out of the river, and we know, of course, how that account unfolds based on what we've read in the book of Exodus. Okay, we just got out of the museum. World record 30-minute tour. Got to get to the pyramids, 40-minute drive. During the month of Ramadan, it shuts down at 3 p.m. So we're in a rush. This is our tour guide, Mark. I'm getting my camera. And Madison. There we go.
There's 9 countries sharing the same river. We are the last country, and before Egypt, there's another 8 countries sharing the same river. So we are still in Cairo side, or Cairo province. We have to cross the other side of the Nile to be in Giza city. That's why we're calling the pyramid Giza Pyramid.
So we're on the east side right now?
Yeah. The Great Pyramid, he built one for his mother and 2 for his daughters. And behind the grandson pyramid, there is another 3 small pyramids for his family.
So Cheops is the tallest.
Yeah,
but
the Great Pyramid, it's the tallest and the largest pyramid we have ever in Egypt, but not the oldest one.
Okay.
It's the biggest one, it's not the oldest. We have another around 11 pyramids, much older than the Great Pyramid. We have in Egypt 125 pyramids. Most of people, they thought we have only 3 big pyramids.
Right.
But actually we have 125. there's between 10, 11 pyramids older than the Great Pyramid. But the Great Pyramid, it's the largest, the biggest one ever we have. And it's very popular because it's the only one is still intact from the 7 wonders of the ancient world.
Yeah.
The 7 wonders of the ancient world is gone, except the Great Pyramid. Egypt, it was so lucky because one day we has 2 wonders from the 7 wonders of the ancient world. The Great Pyramid, which is still standing in Giza,
and the lighthouse.
And the ancient lighthouse in Alexandria. Government, they are destroying this illegal building on the top. Look at this one here.
Tearing things down.
They are destroying the buildings.
So that's what that's about, huh? Tearing down the illegal ones.
Before 2011 revolution, you could see the pyramids from Cairo.
Really?
But nowadays, because of all this
extra building, you can't. Be the largest museum in the world when completed. Bigger than the Louvre, huh?
بالشبشب على اسنانك وهخليك تجيب اسنانك من على الارض. خد قلمين امبارح.
You can tell Cheops pyramid because it has a top part missing. The top 30 feet or so is missing.
يا لهوي خد بالشلوت.
I won't be able to record some vantage point like this, although I don't like the low level stuff here. We'll see what he... 2,600,000 blocks, weighing from 2 to 10 tons?
Start from 2 tons to 9 tons.
2 to 9 tons. And no mortar. They're just chiseled and put together.
The main reason or the main purpose to build all this 125 pyramids in Egypt is just built for one reason, for one purpose. To be as a final resting place for the pharaoh. To be like his machine to the afterlife. His machine to the eternity. We have 125 pyramids for 125 pharaohs. So the pyramid is used as a personal cemetery, not as a family cemetery. So we have 3 big pyramids. Theory is right, nobody knows. Some people saying maybe they built a spiral staircase around the whole pyramid.
Oh, I have not heard that one.
And some other people saying maybe they used a handmade machine made of wood. But also, what kind of wood can carry 9 and 8 tons on it?
Good question.
And some other people believe maybe they built a one single ramp or one causeway.
Yes, sir. Can't go any higher? Okay.
No camera.
No camera. Yeah.
Come outside. Come out.
Yeah, put it in my bag.
No.
This one replica just to support the original limestone.
Okay.
And the original one is behind it. And this white color for the humidity. The water which eating
that's what they're
stone.
replacing with.
This is as a photocopy of King Kefren. And this is the block. Originally it was apart from the limestone mountain.
Okay.
And King Kefren separated this block from the mountain and he carved as a sphinx. He put his head on the lion body and he called the sphinx Hor Em Ached. And in ancient Egyptian language it means God Horus protecting me.
Alright.
And there's a funeral temple where his body was mummified and the pharaoh stayed for 70 days. And he's wearing his royal scarf. It was gold. In the ancient time it was gold scarf. And his ears should be out, referring to the attention of the pharaoh. He's hearing what's going on around him. In the center of his head, this is the broken cobra snake. It was a sign of protection, and his missing nose was destroyed by Muhammad Salim, which are now displayed in British Museum in England.
And originally this would have been covered some sort of plaster, or?
It was limestone, and we removed the sand several times.
Right.
Then now the sand started to cool down because the ground level of the Sphinx was lower than the ground level.
That's something that would fill in that much that you could reach his nose, stand on the ground at one point.
Pyramid, which means long life, triangle shape. We first remove the green cover, and the green cover used to make sandals, to make baskets, to make boats, to make hats, to make mats, so nothing quests. The important part in the inner, we have to divide it into slices to make paper flexible and stronger, and to avoid the weakness of the slices, just we have to choose a fresh one. And we remove the green cover, and we take only the inner. The inner is very important to become like this. This liquid become natural glue. We squeeze it to be more flat, more stronger, more flexible, and liquid very important for papyrus. Soak it in the water 1 week. 1 week is enough to be white paper. 2 weeks become brown paper. To make paper at the ancient day, we put the slice in 2 lines, in 2 layers. Slice must be same size, same color, same weight, same length. We cover the slices after that to be under the press. There were no press like this, but there were 2 fat ladies to sit on the slice.
There were 2 what?
2 fat Egyptian ladies to sit on the
Right.
blocks. Imagine after 1 week the cast slice become paper like this. Waterproof, touch at the bottom, touch under. Is it waterproof?
Yes, it
That's
is.
why some ladies asking me, I can use it to make underwear, I use it comfortable. Original papyrus, if you soak it 24 hours, nobody can cut, become more stronger, more flexible. After the pincher, take it to draw by hand each.
We had just enough time to squeeze in a 2-hour tour of the Nile River before heading back to the hotel to catch a flight out the next morning.
This is the boat for the excursion. A pretty big one. Ramadan decorations. And how many pounds for the 777? Impressive. Tell you what, you're going to wow your students next semester.
How do we know that Hatshepsut was a fiduciary expert? It's because she went down to the bank of the Nile and drew out a little profit.
Here we are in the La Meridian in Cairo. You have to put your card in here to turn the light on in the bathroom. I figured that out. That's the view. Not much traffic today. This is Friday and it's the month of Ramadan, so it's just pretty dead on the roads. And there's your Egyptian sun setting in the west. Hot, arid, dry, dusty, sandy.
The hotel was right on the airport grounds there, made it very convenient and safer. Next morning, headed to breakfast there during the month of Ramadan, so you see all the displays out. What was impressive is how plush this hotel was. $65 a night, which by American standards is a pretty reasonable price, but this would have to be a 4 or 5 star hotel in America. Everything's AstroTurf. It's dry, it's arid, so you don't see grass, but they have AstroTurf out there. All of the amenities that you could imagine, and we felt quite safe there. But when I got to the breakfast bar, it was just absolutely phenomenal. I'd never seen anything quite like this before. Had a whole, I was documenting for the sake of those that were helping to serve, but they had an entire bar for different coffees and all. Actually had smoked meat and cheese, They had an entire bar for breads. And one of my favorites was the honey display that they had. It was actually a rack of honey in a comb that you could then scrape off and put on your toast or what have you. Absolutely fabulous.
This is pretty fancy stuff here, isn't it? Wow. I've never seen something quite like this. Yeah, I hear you. Cancel the tour. Okay. There's so much. I can take a comb and all. That's fine. I like the wax.
And to think that when they opened up the pyramids, they found honey from thousands and thousands of years ago, and still good, crystallized, but still perfectly edible.